Situational awareness can be maintained, I guess, best by having a definite plan and that awareness all the way through.
I start with a sort of a general overview of a flight. So, okay, big picture stuff. You know, I'm in a hotel in Langley Park, and there's an aeroplane on the grass, and I have to fly it around the track and then land it back on Langley Park. So that would be my start, and then I would go through that same plan, getting deeper and deeper into the levels, if you like, and then looking at finer and finer points, and basically think through the flight. Think, oh, for example, I'm going to taxi out. Is the taxiing out going to be easy? Actually, here there are some yellow marker boards on the grass there, so you got to watch out for those. Whilst I'm avoiding those, I mustn't taxi onto the runway. And if I think through the flight like that, in as much detail as that, then I'm not I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that I'll think of most eventualities.
No one can know better than you whether you're fit for flight or not. So it's really up to you to ask, to make sure you are physically fit to be in the seat you're occupying in the cockpit.
Some recommendations for young players in the situational awareness area is follow your procedures, follow your systems, follow your SOPs. And if we look at, for example, the approach phase of flight where there's a lot happening, not only you've got to descend, you've got to look at an approach, you've got to talk on the radio, you've got a whole number of things to do. Generally it starts with good preparation. So not just getting to your top of descent point and going, I've got to start thinking about my descent, being organised and doing it, a good 10 minutes before you're ready to start your descent, and having a plan. And if you have a plan and you follow your SOPs and you follow your procedures which have been designed to minimise risk, then you're a long way to achieving good situational awareness.
I personally think a flight starts weeks ahead. If you said to me, go flying right now, I would say, okay, I can go flying right now, but actually you need time to think about it. So I think you cannot plan a flight enough. There's no such thing as over planning a flight. People always talk about third parties getting in your way, like the weather, for example, or there was a defect on the aeroplane. Personally, I think my number one rule is I can upset my day. I am perfectly capable of making a mistake. As in the 27 years that I've been flying, I've proven on numerous occasions. And even now, after 27 years, whether it's in one of these or in a 747, I make a mistake. And I think the key is don't chew your arm off about it, but say to yourself, okay, if I make a mistake, I have to, cure that problem immediately, but make sure that doesn't affect the rest of my performance. Because as sure as eggs are eggs, you are going to make mistakes. Just make sure they're small ones and that you can cope after you've made one.
It's important that flight crew members focus on their primary task, which is flying the aeroplane, maintaining situational awareness, and put in barriers and defences to prevent those distractions actually occurring. A clear example would be leaving the headset on during all phases of the flight so that the passengers' distraction can be minimised.
When you've got a situation where you've got a call on a checklist, or you're distracted by another item or a third party in the aircraft, always remember, keep coming back to your cockpit scan regularly, especially in IMC night. You've got to keep referring back to that all the time and not get distracted long enough that you can lose directional control of the aircraft, which is quite an easy thing.
The first thing that I think is an essential in what we do, which of course is just one sphere of aviation. I mean, you could take this to being a fighter pilot, an airline pilot, a flying instructor, crop spraying, whatever aspect of aviation, is that you have to be so comfortable in the environment that you're going to fly that you can maintain your situational awareness. So you have to be completely comfortable that you would never have to think about control movements and all that stuff in this kind of level of what we're doing. Just basically being able to see the big picture the whole time.
There are a number of policies that the company introduced to try and deal with situational awareness. The sterile cockpit is one of those, where we try to ensure that on takeoff and coming into land, usually below 10,000 feet, that nothing else is taking place in the cockpit except the operational requirements that happen to exist.
Assessing traffic in an uncontrolled airspace is a very difficult one for young pilots. So our strategies for assisting them with that is we do a lot of mock traffic, and in their instant rating training we set up a lot of mock traffic examples if there isn't any traffic there. What would you do here? You know, who's there first, who's there last, what would you do? And we set up some very simple principles, and that is the old, we set up 1,000 feet separation. If we can't do that, we set up 10 miles. If we can't do that, we set up 10 minutes. So it gives them a multi-level way that they can assess the traffic and at least apply some separation. That then helps them build on that experience, the young pilots. And after a while, I find probably after 12 months, they can handle any traffic situation very well. In fact, I encourage them to take leadership with the traffic. If they get traffic, take the leadership and organise the separation to your satisfaction, because you won't necessarily find that same level of leadership or that same skill is necessarily out there in the industry with other pilots.